Hello everyone, welcome back to Clementine Creative. My name is Clementine and I'm back with another painting video. In this video we're going to be painting a sniper girl. It has been a while since I did any kind of... I feel like it's been a while since I did like some, I guess, gun design, like painting a gun, and I actually don't think I painted a gun in a video before, so I thought that maybe that would be a little bit interesting to see. Here you saw me skip the line art a little bit, and basically now going into painting the face. I'm just gonna leave for you guys to basically watch what's going on as I talk about things. Now this video is out on Monday. It was not out on Friday because I didn't want to edit that video at that particular time. I still had to basically record my voice. And we had guests over, so I didn't really want to work while they're here because they're gonna be loud and you wouldn't be able to hear anything. So I decided to wait till Monday, and well, basically now you're getting this video 3 days late, but or 2 days, 2 days late, I guess. But still, hopefully you will enjoy it just as much. Here, actually, when I was painting this character, it looked a lot like my ex-schoolmate, which is really funny. Totally coincidental though. Coincidental? Is that how you call it? I think that's how you call it. But yeah, basically now you see me copying, pasting the eye. Now this is something that I want to talk about. Whenever I do it, I actually think about what I'm going to say when I copy and paste. If you can, right? You try to find shortcuts to make your work flow go faster, right? You don't want to spend time, and I mean, you can, of course, it's totally optional. You don't have to do this. If you're really good at painting, or if you just enjoy painting the eyes separately, that's totally fine. I don't personally. I enjoy painting the one eye, and I want the other eye to look as close as possible. Now, I do sometimes change the shape slightly to make it not symmetrical, because humans are not as symmetrical as we think we are. But some things that you need to do is change the flare. If we're talking about eyes, you need to change the flares that you see in the eyes, the white spots, the highlights, I guess you can call it, and the shadow, where it comes from. So these are the things you need to be careful when you're copying and pasting. And usually when you're copying and pasting, this only applies if you're then mirroring what you have pasted. Let's say you draw the right breast or boob. That sounds better. If you draw the right boob and you want to copy it to the other side, right, and if it's shaded, and if you mirror the actual boob, right, and if the light comes from one side, obviously that's not going to make any sense, because the shadow, let's say the shadow is on the bottom of the boob, right? If you copy paste it and mirror it, the shadow is going to be now on the left side on the bottom of it, and it's not going to make any sense if light comes, let's say, for the right. So these are the things you're going to have to do if you copy, paste, and mirror. You're going to have to change shadows, which for me is much less of a hassle than redrawing something, because redrawing something, it'll just put on the pressure of making it look as similar as possible. So I just copy and paste, and it also cuts down a lot of the painting time. I mean, this painting did take quite a bit of time to actually paint. I spent more time in it than I probably should. But I did want to make her look a little bit more finished, although I do feel like her painting level is just about as much as the other ones. But the difference between this one is, let's say we take example SniperGirl, the last week's video, and we take the example this one. You can see that this one has a much more complex design, has a lot more different shapes, and it's something that takes up a little bit more time, right? If you have a very plain character like that SniperGirl who really didn't have much to her design, then that kind of goes painting wise much faster towards the end. Like you really finish the painting fast. But here you see me do these intricate details that I love to paint details in my paintings. I like them to be very nice HD. When you have a nice resolution, really get to see all those details. It's really nice. But these characters aren't, again, too big as far as resolution wise. I think this is about 3,000 pixels wide or 5,000 pixels wide, which is pretty wide. But if we're looking for production paintings, which are usually around 10 to 13,000, maybe even more by the time they're finished, which is pretty wide, and that's good because you can really get all those details in, and especially if you print out, which if you ever have the chance, you should print out your work. It looks much better when it's printed out than it does on the screen, believe me. Just there's something about it, holding a picture in your hand of what you drew, that just is much more badass than seeing it on a computer screen. But yeah, here you just see me throwing some really surreal stuff. You don't even know what's going on here, so I'm going to explain. It's a very huge sniper rifle. The idea for this character, first of all, came from, you know, a character maybe like League of Legends, although that wasn't what came through my mind. I can just say that now after I already completed this character. But I did want to make a girl with a sniper. And so I drew a sniper at like it was shorter than this. And then I was like, it would be interesting to make one of those designs where women are over-exaggerated, or everything they have is way over-exaggerated. So I made a huge sniper rifle. Not really functional in real life if you want to, you know, walk around with this thing. Although this sniper rifle, you can see, has a little, like here you can see me now paint these little legs that it has for support. So it's like a sniper for basically camping. It's not meant to be like, you know, carried around. But what else it has is the two scopes. The lower one zooms in a lot more than the top one, so it has two different optics. And in this case, I made it so that, you know, they're old-fashioned, I guess, and they can't zoom in more manually. So it's something like, you know, you have to have a different scope on to zoom in closer or further. And the golden thing you see on the bottom that looks like a huge ammo slot is actually a device that takes the steam, or the heat, basically, from the actual explosion of the bullet that happens inside of the gun, takes that heat, converts it into steam, which then runs this little mini turbine engines right there in the front, where you see little 3 turbines, whatever, right here, with little electricity marks and little lights. That's where electricity is made. It's sent down through these wires on a barrel, which coats the bullets in electricity. Now, this is bullshit, it would not work in real life at all, but it's a video game and like a video game character, and I feel like that kind of an explanation is good enough to at least immerse yourself. Of course, if this was a higher production character type of stuff, you'd probably have to have a better background than this. But let's say for manga purposes or anime purposes, this would be pretty good, you know. I feel like that's what they have, like these very simple explanations that, you know, make the character look cool. So what else came through my mind? I wanted to make it look tactical. Now these things that you see here, these green things, is actually ghillie suit. If you don't know what a ghillie suit is this basically this suit that looks like you have a giant moss all over you, like a giant moss pile, but it's actually supposed to resemble grass and leaves. So snipers use this on field work. They can hide in tall grass and behind bushes. It makes them harder to detect. Now, of course, if you wore an actual ghillie suit, there would be this, like, this green thing will be all over you. You really do look like a giant green moss monster. But I wanted to make it look cool, so I only added pieces of it in, right? That's what usually people do when they create character designs, is they only put a little bit of the coolest things, right? Then I added a little bit of like special forces shield, like knee pads, some of that brass knuckled knife, and I also added some of the ghillie suit elements on the actual rifle, which is again something that is done. They do put the ghillie suit, I guess, also on the rifle, which a little mini rifle ghillie suit. You can buy it in the store. Nah, but it does look very cool when you when you see that in real life. Probably, I haven't seen it in real life actually. I love how I took Call of Duty's presentation of this thing as real life. Wow, that's low. I'm so sorry. But yeah, basically we're now closing into the end of this video. If you would like to see more of this, like, what am I talking about? You're gonna see more of this. As a channel where you're gonna see more of this. I'm just gonna say thank you for watching. All right. I hope you like the character. I do like the style is slightly different, the painting style, than what I did from before. A little bit more shaded, I feel like, but again, very similar to the anime one. I changed the lighting a little bit, added the cools in the shadows and warms on the highlights. Again, thanks for watching this video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Everything changes.
But yeah, that's it. I think this video is gonna end now. Yes, it is. Yep, there it is. Okay.